Hey friends, thanks for joining me today. We're going to do some math. So this week we're starting a new chapter, chapter 9, so that's pretty exciting. So this chapter is about measurement. So let's just go ahead and we'll preview our chapter before we get started. So if you have your book in front of you, you can go ahead and follow along with us. So here's our table of contents, which is going to tell what all of the lessons are about. And then here we have a little story with a graph that you can complete using some of the information. And then here's a little bit of writing about that story if you'd like to do that. And then our first couple of lessons is going to be about measurement. So it says what objects in the picture are shorter than the arch. So here's the arch, and things that are going to be shorter than the arch is going to be something that's not as tall. So what are some of the things in this picture that are not as tall as that arch? So it looks like the trees are not as tall as the arch. It looks like the grass is not as tall as the arch. All right, so on this page, we've done this before in class. So this is the show what you know page and the vocabulary page. So this is just some stuff that these skills will be very helpful for you in this chapter. So on this side, you're going to take these words in the yellow box and you're going to kind of sort them and put them where they go. So here, think about which one of these words or how many of these words are going to have to do with length. Okay, so long was one of those words. Just write that here. So think about the other words in the box that are going to have to do with length. And then over here, what are the numbers that you see in this box? So I see 9 right there. And so there are going to be a few others that can go on these lines. And down here, you are going to use some of these words a second time. So a crayon is blank than a marker. So maybe you'll take a crayon and you'll take a marker and you'll kind of measure them and see how they relate to each other. A toothbrush is blank than a paper clip. And then write the name below the number. So you'll just take those numbers, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then write the correct word underneath those numbers. And then on this page, we have a game. We have our vocabulary words. And then here's another game. And you can go ahead and you can play this with your families if you choose. And so here is 9.1. It says use objects to show the problem and draw to show your work. So anywhere in here that has to do with measuring objects, you can just draw lines if you choose, if you don't have the objects that it says at home. So Rosa has something that's longer than the drinking straw. She has another object that is shorter than the key. What objects might she have? So you can kind of guesstimate what kind of object she might have, or you can just draw lines. So if she has something that's longer than the straw, longer just means there's more of it, or taller if you were to turn your paper this way. So if we want to have something that's longer than the straw, we might have a line that goes out to here, because now my orange line here is longer, goes farther than that straw. And with our key here, she has something that's shorter than the key. So that means that it is not as long. It does not go as far as the key. So it might go here, or even here, or here, just as long as it does not come past this key. Okay, and then on this page, it says draw 3 lines in order from shortest to longest. So, or order 3 pieces of yarn from shortest to longest, and then draw the missing piece of yarn. So this piece of yarn is the shortest. It is the smallest. And this piece of yarn is the longest. So we are missing a piece of yarn that is going to be longer than this one, but shorter than this one, which means that our piece of yarn must go farther than this line, but not as far as this line. So it can go here, or you could extend it out as long as it does not go past this line right here, because it has to be shorter. This one has to be longer than this one. All right, and here, same thing as up here. Draw lines in order from shortest to longest. So your shortest line could be something like that even. And then your longest line could go out to about here, or it can go out to here, or it can go out to here, or it could even go out to here. That's up to you. But your middle line needs to be longer than this one, and it needs to be shorter than this one. They can't go out as far. And then same thing here, draw lines from longest to shortest. So this line must be the longest. It must cover the most amount of space. And this line must be the shortest. It should cover the shortest amount of space. And this one should be somewhere right in the middle. And over here where it says draw some crayons, you don't have to draw crayons if you'd like to draw crayons. If you have a crayon in your house that you want to kind of trace, you can do that. But this top one has to be the shortest, and this one has to be the longest. This one will be somewhere in the middle. Okay, same thing here, only going from longest to shortest. So this one will be the longest line. It might come out to about here, and the shortest might come to about here, and the middle one must be between this one and this one. And then down here, we have a green line, or a green piece of yarn, a blue piece of yarn, and a red piece of yarn. So the blank yarn is the shortest. So you're just gonna put the color that is the shortest. The shortest one goes here. The blank yarn and the blank yarn are the same length. So think of which two of these colors are the same length. All right. And then you can go ahead and do this page. The black and white pages that are in your book that look more like homework pages, these are optional. I do suggest you do them because it's just going to give you more practice. So then we have indirect measurement. Okay, this is 9.2. So we're going to use some clues here to help us solve this. Okay. So the first clue, the yellow string is shorter than the blue string. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my blue string first. So I know that my blue string might be about there, and my yellow string is going to be shorter than that blue one. So the yellow one can't go past here. So my yellow one might go there. And the yellow string is shorter than the red string. So my red string cannot go past my yellow string. Oops, that's not red. I'm going to make it purple instead. So my red string is shorter. Or no, the yellow string is shorter than the red one. So my red one cannot go past the yellow one. It has to go farther than the yellow one. My bad. Because the yellow is shorter than the red. In this case, it's purple. All right. So on this page, you're going to use the clues here, where you're going to write shorter or longer to complete the sentence, then draw to prove your answer. So the first clue, a green pencil is longer than an orange pencil. So the green pencil is longer than the orange pencil. And the orange pencil is longer than the brown pencil. So if the green one is going to be longer than the orange one, so my green one could go to about there. Now I know it says draw colored pencils. You can just draw lines. And then the orange pencil is longer than the brown pencil. So I'm going to use black here. I don't have a brown pencil. So my brown one is going to go almost to the orange, but it has to be shorter. It cannot go all the way out to the tip of the orange because the orange one has to be longer than the brown one. So the green pencil is longer than the brown pencil because the green pencil has to go past the orange and the orange has to go past the black one. So I suggest that while you are doing these pages, you should follow the clues. You should write the lines or draw the lines as you read the clues. So a red line is going to be shorter than a blue line. So I'm going to draw my blue line first. Okay, so my blue line might go, say, to about there. And then my red line, I'm going to use purple here. My red line is going to be shorter than the blue line. So my red line is not going to go past that blue line. And so the blue line is shorter than the purple line. So my purple line has to go farther because the blue one is not as tall as it. So the purple line has to go farther than the blue one because the blue one is shorter than the purple. So the red line is blank than the purple line. So here you're going to write the word shorter or you're going to write the word longer. So think about your drawing here. The red line is what than the purple line. So I'm going to say that the red line is shorter than the purple line. So over here, just go ahead and follow the clues. I would suggest as you read the clue, a green line is shorter than a pink line. Draw your green line using that clue. Draw your pink line using that clue. And then clue number 2, the pink line is shorter than the blue line. So you might have to change your pink line depending on what the blue line is. All right, same down here with number 3. And you can go ahead and do this one as well. And of course, the black and white page is optional. All right, so if you would like to work on this together, I would love to see you during office hours at any time. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great week.